Hi everyone. I'm continuing to teach on the topic of love, and we've been discussing love for the past months. And we said that we're going to be on this topic for a long time. And the first attribute of love that we taught on this platform is that love is patient. And we discussed that for a long time. And after that, we move on to the one that said that love is kind. And we said the third attribute of love, that love does not envy. And we saw how we related those topics to our everyday life. It makes us understand that when you talk about love, love is not about marriage, love is not about boyfriend or girlfriend or relationship. Love is our everyday life. Love is the air that we breathe. It's like that. It's what we do every day. So your life is built on how much you can love. Your life is built on how much you can love. Your life is built on how much you understand love and how much you can understand the topics under love. And like I told you guys, our love is not the definition of the one we have from the word. You know, the word definition of love tells us about emotional things. Love is not about emotions. Love is not talking about kissing and having sex. That's not love. Love is about your life. So you have to understand the topics under love and know how to implement those things with your life. Because we're talking about patience. Love is about patience. You have to have patience in your life. You have to have patience in your life and even have it in your marriage or whatever relationship you are having. You know, so patience is something that is fundamental in our life. You know, so that's why Bible is talking about love as something very fundamental. And like that's why we are discussing and going about to talk about the topic of love. Because if you understand what love is, it's going to help you to understand your life. It's going to help you to understand relationship. It's going to help you to know how to navigate through the issues of life. So love is patience. You have to have patience in your life, you know, and have it in your relationship. And another one, we said that love does not envy. And love is, you cannot live a life of envy. You must understand that life, everyone is different. Your life is not another person's life. And love is kind. You must understand the place of kindness in life. You know, so when you understand the place of these things in your life, you have to know how to live your life. You know, so this month we're going to be discussing about another good attribute of love. You know, they said that love does not boast. So this month we're going to talk about boasting. What does it mean to be boasting? What is in the place of boasting in your life? How does boasting affect your life? And how does boasting affect what we're doing? You know, so when we say that love is not boastful, because God is telling us that we should live in love, and you shouldn't live with these things that is not love, because if you live in the things that God does not say is love, it's going to affect your life. The love life you're talking about is a life that affects you personally. It's an everyday thing. You know, so love is not boastful. And I'm going to be taking our Bible verse from the book of James chapter 4 verse 6. You know, he said that God gives grace to the humble. He gives grace to the humble. You know, so grace does not work where there is boasting. Grace does not work where there's no humility. So grace works with humility. And he said that God resists the proud. God resists the boastful. You know, if you're living your life and you'll be facing a lot of frictions, things have been so difficult for you. Things have been so difficult for you. You cannot even navigate a lot of things in your life. You have to check it if you're living a very proud life. You know, if you're living a very proud life, you're going to face a lot of resistance in your life. You're going to face a lot of resistance. You know, and God said that God resists the proud. God resists the proud. And we know that God is life. Life resists the proud. You cannot be living a very proud life. You cannot be very boastful and you don't face resistance. You see, some of the issues you have in your life today, even in your relationship, in your marriage, is because you are too proud. It's because of that you have been so boastful, you know. And I want to break it down for us to understand what being boastful is all about. You know, when we talk about the word boasting, you know, boasting is like you bragging, you being too full of yourself, you being too proud of yourself. You know, some of us, we think that we are better than everyone else. You always put yourself at that high point, as in, I am the best, I am the this and that. I know God said I will be the head and not the tail. But God did not place us in the place of being boastful. In a place, because when you are boastful, it makes you to disrespect everyone. It makes you to look down on everyone. It makes you to think that you should have this instead of this person having it. No, life is not like that. Love makes you to be humble. Love makes you to bring yourself down. Love makes you to see everyone that they are important. But when you're not living in love, when you're living a very boastful life, you're going to see that people doesn't matter. You're going to see that people are not important. And you see people that live a very boastful life, you're going to start valuing people based on what they have. And that is the life of today. You see, a lot of people, they value people based on what they have. You value people based on who they are. You value people based on the qualification or based on where they work. You value people based on the kind of car they drive. But that is not the value that God is telling us to value people. You shouldn't value people like that. You should love people. But when you are living a very boastful life, you see people say, I pick my friends, I pick the people I speak with, because you pick the people that you think they are in the same level of you. Because you have seen yourself that you are at the top. I've seen people in the place of work that they don't even talk to certain people because they feel they are the boss, or they feel they are up there, and they feel like the janitors are not your colleague. They didn't go to school. You speak only with people that went to school, that have some kind of education. You speak to some certain level of people. You're not living in love. If you are the kind of person that only speak to people that they've have some kind of achievements, they've have some kind of things in their life, and you don't speak to some certain people, you could say, I don't make friends with this kind of level of people. I've seen some ladies that say, I cannot marry someone at this level. You're not living in love. That's not love. You are bragging. And as you are bragging, as you are boastful, you're going to face a lot of resistance. You're going to face a lot of resistance. If you remember when we talked about kindness, the Bible said that we should not miss to entertain strangers. It said because a lot of people have entertained angels without knowing it. It's the same thing about being boastful. When you are boastful, you can miss a lot of chances in your life. Because when you are putting yourself so high where you don't belong, it can make you lose a lot of things. And some of us have looked down on people that should have been like a business partner. We've looked down on people that should have been like our wives. We've looked down on people that should have ended up being our husbands, because you see the person is not high up there. You've seen the person that the person doesn't have the kind of cars you expect your friend to have. Or you see the person that this person doesn't have the kind of knowledge I think this person should have had. But if you have been humble enough, you shouldn't have missed those chances that you've missed in your life. But you've missed a lot of chances in your life. You've been in one spot, you've been in a place that you shouldn't be in your life because you've been so proud. You've been looking down on people. You've been looking down on opportunities. And I want to tell you, you that is praying God to give you this and that, your expectation has been so high. You don't even know how God is going to give it to you. But God always meets us to the place of humility. But if you're the kind of person that is boastful, if you're the kind of person that is so proud, you're going to face a lot of resistance. And when you're facing resistance, it's going to make you get frustrated. And you might think you're doing the right thing, but you are not doing the right thing because you are living a very proudful life. No, love does not boast. Love does not brag. He said love does not show himself. You don't like to show yourself. You don't like to brag about yourself. You don't like to put yourself up there. You don't want to make yourself look so special than every other person. That's not love. If you're not living in love, it's going to affect everything you do in your life. It's going to affect your marriage. It's going to affect your work. It's going to affect your business. It's going to affect everything you do in your life. And what we're teaching is both the combination of the spiritual world and the physical world. What I'm teaching you is the spiritual world. The spiritual world, you have to thrive in humility because you don't know what is in stock with that. You might see someone that doesn't look good. The person doesn't have a good job. He doesn't have money. You might look down on that person, and this person don't want. It's not worth me. Like you might say, this person, I'm bigger than this guy. It's not worth to date me. It's not worth to be my friend. And you might lose the guy because you feel it's not worth it. And at the end of the years, you see that this guy is actually making more progress than you are. And you might see yourself regretting, I should have followed this guy when he came to me. But because you are so proud and because you are so high up there, you miss that chance. You miss that chance that you had in your life. So what love does for us is that love makes us to live in a place of humility. And when you live in a place of humility, it makes you to face less resistance in your life, because it's going to make you the opportunities that the doors that God is going to open up in your life. You're not going to miss those opportunities. You're not going to miss those doors because you see them and you grab them. But when you see things and you start evaluating them based on, I am bigger than this, I deserve a better thing than this, this is not my level, you're going to miss a lot of things. You're going to miss a lot of things. And you're going to face a lot of resistance. And you're going to face a lot of challenges. So love topic that we're going to be teaching this month is that love is not boastful. Love makes you to live in a place of humility. Because when you are not living in a place of humility, you are not staying in a place of grace. Grace only functions in a place where you are humble. Grace does not function when you are boastful. Grace does not function when you are bragging. Grace does not function when you think you're up there. And that's why some of us have not received from God, because we think we are qualified for this, we think we are this, we think we are that. But remember the word of Apostle Paul. Apostle Paul said, I am the least of all the apostles. That's a statement of humility. Even him being the one that wrote almost like the half of the New Testament, but he was still calling himself to be the least. He sees himself as the least. He said, I am the least of all the apostles. He said, but I am who I am today by the grace of God. You see, grace works in the place of humility. But if Paul has come and started bragging that I'm not the least of the apostles, at least I didn't even join Jesus Christ when he was here, I came last, but look at Peter, look at James, look at Matthew, look at all of those people that was working with Jesus. What have they achieved? What have they achieved? But look at me that just joined yesterday. I've achieved this, I've achieved that, I'm this, I'm this, I'm the one that wrote this, I'm the one that built this church, I'm the one that had this thing, I'm the one that did this and that. So that is the place of boastful. But even though this guy has achieved a lot in his ministry, he has achieved a lot in life, he still calls himself the least. He still sees himself as the least. So we have to imbibe the attitude of humility. We have to see ourselves as just humble. But if you start bragging yourself, if you start putting yourself so high, if you start thinking that you are up there, you start putting yourself on that high point, you're going to miss a lot of chances. And that is what God resists. God is not going to work with someone that's bragging. And we see that Jesus Christ, even Bible said that he humbled himself to the point of death. Jesus Christ, as the kind of power he had when he was on earth, he was not supposed to die that kind of death. He's not supposed to, because he has the power to even call legions of angels to fight for him. But he humbled himself. He humbled himself. So we have to learn how to humble ourselves. Love is humility. Love means humble. So we are going to be discussing humility. We are going to be discussing the areas in our lives where we need to bring humility alive, so that we can achieve, we can eat the good of this land. We can live life without facing resistance. Because the worst resistance you can face in life is not about where you walk. It's not about the kind of certificates you have. It's not about the kind of cars we have. But we are talking about when God is resisting you. When God is resisting you, it's going to be a very tough battle for you. Some people look very good outside, but inside they are dying. Some people look very good outside. You think they have it all, but inside them they are dying. So that inside peace, that inside rest is what God is going to give you this month when you follow through and remove that proud, remove that boastful life that you are living. You're going to have peace in your life. When you bring humility into your life, you're going to have peace. And this is what we're going to be teaching this month. And I pray that God will give us understanding so we can understand these things and we can put these things to work in our life. Because I like I said, that Christianity is not about knowing something. It's about living it, being a practical Christian. And we have to be practical in whatever we are doing. We shouldn't just know it. We shouldn't just read it. We shouldn't just hear about it. But we have to put these things to work. So when you put those things to work, you're going to see the hand of God in your life. And so this month we're going to be discussing about this is the fifth attribute of love. That love does not boast. Love is not boastful. So that's the love we're going to be discussing this month. And let God guide us, and let God be with you, and let God bless you and bless your family. And know that love is not about relationship. Love is not about marriage. Love is just like the air that we breathe. Love is what you need to succeed in this life. And that is what we have been discussing and breaking these topics down so you could understand love and know how to move forward in your life. And may the Lord bless us in Jesus' name. Amen. So do have a good one, and yeah.